All right. Hello, everyone. We are live with a Season 13 Week 5 game between two undefeated players, Kurtis and Gabe, aka SandwichToby. Kurtis is playing his Hellfire squad. He's got Thanos in here now, different, a change from previous weeks. So that's pretty interesting. But other than that, of course, they're all splashes under Hellfire. And against him is Gabe running. Looks
He's
like
running. He's
Hydra, Sam Avengers. I think it's very similar, or if not the exact same, to what he was running against me last week when he beat me. And so this will be pretty interesting. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to let them know we're live. And joining me on commentary is Vodkablitz. How's it going, man?
going great, going great. Really looking forward to see that game. Both very good players playing rosters. They've put a lot of time and reps in. Looking forward to see how each will perform in this game.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, for anyone who is not familiar with any of the players, or not as familiar with us or the players, Kurtis and I are both in Ontario, Canada, and Vodkablitz on commentary and Gabe are both in Quebec, on Quebec, Canada. Like so, it's like a little. There's a little bit. I don't want to say there's a rival here. We're all Canadians, so this is pretty cool. I'm sure like there's a little bit of a rivalry between our side and their side, and there was a battle at the border a little while ago in Ottawa, I believe. And did Gabe
Yep.
go to that?
Yep. We did.
Did he play Kurtis? I remember because I
Curtis played three of us, but not Gabe. But we did roll a little over Curtis. That is,
yeah, that's right. So let's see who won priority. Looks like Gabe Sandwich
and
Toby
Gabe
won
got it
priority.
and chose his extract. Um, from the looks of it.
Okay, so we're playing Riot, Spark, Extremis, and Spiders. These are core missions from the original core set. I think
Uh,
are these in the new core set too? I don't remember.
I believe
But
yes, they are. I don't think the Corset Crises changed. This is going to be interesting. It's a pretty high VP game there. Um, it's I think it's going to be interesting to see how both players are going to play the scenario and try to out control each other.
yeah, that's I am interested to see how this goes. I mean, like Curtis's team, he's got Thanos in the list, so but I think we're it's pretty safe to say we're not going to see Thanos in this matchup here, based on the layout of the secures and the number of extracts. You're going to want to go reasonably wide, like five. I'm sure you're going to want to go probably five wide here on both sides, just because of the extracts can't be all loaded up on one character or anything like that. Hellfire has the leadership healing. So does Sam Avengers. If Sandwich Toby goes that way, and then the extremist consoles also give healing. So there might be a lot of you take damage, but then like you're healing it off a lot. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see with how this goes.
For sure. I think here I expect Gabe to actually go with his Hydra package to match Curtis, since Red Skull 2's leadership gives you power if you're holding or contesting points. So I think with the healing from the Extremist console, he can pretty effectively mimic um, the Hellfire leadership, but has the benefits of having grunts that can also heal his characters for free. So I would expect to see Red Skull here. Um, so yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. Like Gabe has been perfecting that roster on and off for the better part of, I want to say, a year. With the Hydra Samvenger splash, Samvenger split. It's a really cool roster to see in action. Good attrition potential and good scenario play potential with either halves of the roster. So it's going to be a nice game. And like you said, I don't expect to see Thanos here, especially with Spider Infected, where the extract displacing characters is bound to make Thanos' life really miserable.
Yeah, that's right. So we have so one thing that I've thought about this type of list before, because I in a game where I was prepping to play against a Guardians of the Galaxy team. I had Sword base in my list as a pay to flip to help play against CGR even as I'm losing on attrition or something. And one of the thoughts I had was something similar to what Gabe had already thought up, which was Sam Avengers and Red Skull. Red Skull's amazing on Sword, and he basically the ideas that I had, he just that I had like whatever. This is like in season 12 cuts around that time, and that he's already clearly done. He's leveled up compared to what I was trying to think of, and that's like Red Skull and under Sam is awesome because he wants to be safe outside of range 3 because a lot of characters have range 3 attacks, and so you don't want him to take too many hits. So you keep him outside of 3, but then when one of your characters, not Red Skull, gets dazed, you can use the Sam Avengers leadership trigger to bring him into range 3, and then you can double tap someone and then use your movement triggers to dip out of range 4 again, and so you can just trade blows keeping Red Skull protected, and of course the healing on him is very beneficial. It lets him use his cut more often and not suffer too much of the repercussions from doing that. So it's a very cool synergy with the Sam Vengers, and of course, like you still get to go wide-ish with like in quotes because of the grunts. So it's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you really nailed it there. Just how that roster and its flexibility on both Red Skull and Sam operates on the board. It's also one of the reasons Gabe has two threats on his list, just to be able to, even if he plays a 5, go as wide as he can to try to leverage that Sam Wilson leadership. Um, so yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup. Looks like both players, I'd assume, are pretty close to having figured out what they're going to play.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have anything going on in your local area?
We have a small local tournament this weekend, actually, which is about to be really interesting. We're probably gonna try the new Wakanda wave and just still explore wider options with the CGR nerf. So just trying to figure out new things and new list buildings, new ways to build lists with the small change of the meta.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I just had a tournament that few like it was a 20-person tournament in London, Ontario, and that was a lot of fun. There's my the players that I have to play against locally are just like really they're really good. I don't want to like brag, but like for like my meta, but they're like they're hard to beat. They're hard to beat. So anyway, here we go. We got the teams.
Yep.
Kurtis is playing Hellfire. Okay, so we got Emma, Rhino, Black Hat, Toad, and Beta Ray Bill. So he's bringing my Hellfire Club with mission objective, robbery, brace for impact, and eyes on the prize. On the other side, we have the Hydra team, just as Vodkablitz mentioned. So we've got Red Skull, Master of Hydra, as the leader, and we have Baron Zemo, Black Widow, Spider Woman, Spider
And
Man, and then we have Sacrifice, Brace, Fallback, Eyes on the Prize, Cosmic Obliteration. So, what do you think of the teams?
I think I really like Gabe's team here. I think he went for a similar play to Curtis to play as many extract steals as he could with the list he has. So here we have both Miles and Spider Woman, which will both get extra power from Red Skull's leadership to make their steal much more reliable and online earlier. Same for Curtis, playing Hellfire and feeding power to his models. We see both Black Cat and Rhino, classic stealers and linchpins of Hellfire, with Toad and Bill that are just very good and annoying extracts holder, just to make Gabe's life a little more miserable. I like the mission objective pick here from Curtis. I think trying to keep those extracts a little longer is probably going to help him in the long run. I think his decision to bring Eyes on the Prize here is really interesting. and I'm eager to see what he's going to do with it.
Yeah, that's so yeah, we're gonna see Eyes on the Prize on Red Skull for Gabe to go with. He's gonna grab them. He's probably gonna be grabbing this middle piece here. That's gonna put him in a spot where um, he's going to. Okay, there's like so much going on here. My brain is like I need to trying to process the information. But yes, we're gonna have to see a safe grab from Red Skull in the middle spider, and the grunts are
Yep.
gonna maybe they'll take a flank, X or secure, and or maybe they'll just hang out on the back. But I'm seeing long movers, lots of long movers on Gabe's side, which is really great for him because if Kurtis tries to steal any of Gabe's spiders on his first activation of the round, you're gonna see Gabe basically respond in the same manner, same type of manner, I think, and you or like the flexibility is there. Plus, both the spiders are there as well, and they have, of course, they can steal with a an attack eventually. Probably not round one because no matter the cost is not here, but um, but they
But
will be able to put a lot of pressure on. Like they'll be able to put attacks into anyone who tries to take the opponent's spiders, and therefore have power, likely have power on round two to steal something like that.
thanks to Red Skull's leadership, if they are either holding or contesting a token, so if they both end up sitting on one of the extremist consoles, they should start the round. They should start round two with three power, enabling both their steals to match as Kurtis with Black Hat and Rhino. So I think here we're likely to see a good amount of back and forth and extract stealings from both players, and a lot of double walking. So I don't expect this to be a particularly brawly game, with the scenario combination and the teams both player ended up bringing.
Yeah, fair. The interesting thing here is that although like Gabe has two stealers, both the spiders that will cost an action, and Kurtis only has one in Black Cat, but and Rhino has a card, so it's like you get one steal with Rhino, so you have to really make it count. What Kurtis likes to do is um he likes to hold onto the card as long as possible on robbery. This would allow him to just like take the basically close out a game with the card or put his opponent in a really problematic spot in like rounds 3 or 4. So let's see if Kurtis holds onto that card, tries to just push the damage through with Rhino, um, or if he uses the card early on in the game.
Yeah, and here we see Red Skull choosing the Mystic side of his armor to prevent collision damage. The grunts grab that back secure, as we mentioned. Um, yep.
Yeah,
And
Nick.
here I really like the choice of Mystic armor since Kurtis really doesn't have energy attacks aside from Bill's benders, so that he's pretty likely to be relatively safe overall this game. Um,
Yeah, that's right. Nick in the chat. Another player from Montreal is saying that mission objective would have probably been a better pick for maybe fallback, just because it more hard it counters Rhino a little bit better, or maybe I don't know, Cosmic Obliteration. I don't know. One of those two cards probably could have been dropped for mission objective, and
yep.
um,
I'd
so
be
maybe.
I'd be a little inclined to agree, but I'm looking forward to see Cosmic Obliteration go in effect here. I think being able to root or hex Curtis's model might have a pretty significant impact in lessening the effects of the leadership if there's an artificial or bigger ceiling imposed on their models.
Yeah. I think this is also great for oh, that's my bird. Sorry, I didn't move them. Usually I move them pre-stream, and I took a risk here. And I decided to let them be covered up behind me. So we'll see if they go to
So
sleep. But
we just got the
Cosmic Obliteration could remove the stagger. I think that's like another big thing that could happen. So that
yep.
Red Skull will get full activations, and also like if he spends the one power, he can put like Incinerate on Black Hat. Okay, I'll be right back. Simon, could you carry the cast for a
Yeah,
minute?
yeah, for sure. Here we see a pretty Good play from Kurtis using Eyes on the Prize to grab the Spider Infected from Gabe's side and still sit on that Extremist console, covering both the Secure and the Extract. Here we have Black Widow matching that on the other side, just double walking, looks like in cover range. Here, with her stealth and for Mystic Defense, she's a pretty good model to stand in Black Cat's way. Here, I also think I'd expect Spider Woman to eventually go back to the Extremist console. That looks like Widow done. Now over to Kurtis. Like he's eyeballing, picking up the spider virus on his own side, on the opposite side of the board.
All right.
So yeah, here pretty much just like you said, Black Widow went and counter stole the spider infected from Kurtis's side, which I believe leaves her outside of range 3 of Emma with her 4 mystical defense. She's going to be a little obnoxious to and go grab here. Black Cat goes, picks up spider infected.
That's okay. So that's interesting. The Black Widow, yeah, like for some reason she's got 4 mystic defense. I guess it's like the whole spy. She can't be manipulated. She's like in deep cover or whatever. I don't know, all that crap, all that, and so she has 4 mystic defense. So yeah, that's interesting as a 2 threat going against Emma. Maybe she will be resilient enough to survive an attack if that's what Emma ends up doing on round 1.
Yeah, and here with the terrain, I think she would get cover, and because of stealth, she might already be outside of range 3 of Black Widow. So this ought to be interesting. Here looks like we have Spider Woman going into Bill. And looks like a very strong start for with the Wild Soul. Probably right. Stun Bill before damage, which will put a big break on his power output.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I would expect stun here. Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to. We might even have to see a shake on Bill as an action. I mean, Hellfire's gonna like little plink you up a little bit. Like you're gonna have 1 power from leadership this round, 1 power next round, and then you're gonna get 1 power on your on the power phase. So you're still gonna be in a spot where you're gonna have enough power to like double move throw. But unfortunately, yes, you're going to be you are gonna have to you're probably gonna have to shake that stun if you want to be effective consistently round by round.
Agree, and I really like the glide here from Spider Woman to put her back on the point just to make sure she gets an extra power.
Yeah, nice.
Going into round 2. So here we have Emma going within 2 of Widow to deny cover. Back to have a builder thrown her way.
So Bill opted to steal the spider because he could be on the point and take the spider. Oh, what do we got for a roll? Okay, we've got 3 and 2 takes 1.
Emma gets her trigger, which will move Black Widow short.
Oh, looks like we're gonna. We got to get 2 attacks with her into Toad, right? Like 2 double attack with Toad. If like she only needs like 3 damage. God, that's interesting. I wonder what that's about. But I wonder what the thinking there was. Is he in range 3 of Toad? I think she is actually.
I would assume so. But that will probably be a good question to ask Kurtis later. But I just expect her to be moved in within 3 of Toad.
Yeah. So Stir Crazy saying, "How we all doing?" Yeah, we're watching a winner makes it into cut match. I love these types of matches. These are the more deeper you go into a season, the more stakes there are. So I'm getting more and more excited as the weeks go by here. This is pretty cool.
Here we have Zemo picking up a spider infected and moving on the point. Within 2 of Red Skull, I would presume.
He's going for the heal. He's going for the heal on Beta Ray Bill is what's happening. It looks like, or he's gonna take the spider on next round, right? So that was I guess the idea here that Kurtis had. I didn't see it until now. I think, and he's gonna there's the heal next, but he's gonna trigger the leadership eventually, and then that's gonna give Toad 2 power to take the spider from Bill, allowing him to push into Gabe's team in future rounds without having to worry about losing the extract. I think that's the general idea that we're seeing here.
Yep. Here we see Miles going into the point. I like how Gabe paired up his extract stealers on each side of the board just to make sure he could threaten either side if push comes to shove. So here we have Rhino very likely moving, getting an attack into Zemo. And Red Skull being very probably within 3 of Rhino if he ever lands near Zemo or Miles.
It looks like Zemo is not on the point, or at least the secure thing is, but I believe he measured range 1. I'm sure we can assume that Zemo is within 1 of the point.
So here we have Rhino going into Zemo, I presume.
Looks like a block. Oh man, so Rhino's in a very interesting spot here because so this is very interesting. I think he's putting pressure on both side, like both player or Kurtis is putting pressure on both sides of the board with Rhino on one side and Black Widow's in danger on this side, and Gabe has rotated most all of his hitters onto like one quadrant of the map. And so we have a 5-4 lead. Yeah, this is what we probably expected with Gable getting the middle spider. And so Kurtis is down by 1 point. And so let's see what side. Here we go. We're rolling on spiders.
Starting with Black Widow. Looks like she moves.
I think he just left her there.
Yep. All right. So here's Zemo.
Yeah, you're gonna just like what? You just move him. Oh, hold on.
Oh wait.
Wasn't player effects first?
It's during the power gain.
So player effects he should have done leadership first, right?
Yeah.
Is this a miss? Is this a optional? Like what's going on here?
For each.
They're doing it now. They're doing it now.
Good. Nice catch from both players. Yeah, I figured neutral
effect. Yeah, this is this. I'm glad they caught that before it got too far down the line there. But yes, it's important to go through the steps in the right order as much as possible, and then you don't. Kurtis forgot leadership.
Nope, he actually used the leadership. We see Toad on 1. Bill's back on 2.
But is that just power phase, or is that just power phase? He hasn't done power phase yet. So yeah,
yeah, he hasn't done his power phase yet. That is correct.
Yeah, so Kurtis, still has to do his power phase. I'm sure he'll. I'm sure he'll remember to do that.
Yeah, I like the push near Spider-Woman here, especially with her steel available already. She would be able to move, pick it up, still be in range of getting attacked by Bill, but with martial artist and 4 defense, she can usually take his shot pretty well. Now we have Black Cat. Looks like she is not moving. Good catch and call, Lucas. Here we have, it looks like a Black Widow activation, which I think is the correct play from Gabe here, just trying to get Widow out of the action and back to safety to not have the extract stolen. I think if you're Gabe, you're much more comfortable with Rhino using his one-time steal now, with both Miles and Zemo being able to chase him pretty effectively and have Widow just run away as far as she can.
I agree. This is the right call. You can heal her back to full health, and now your 2 threat is scoring you 2 VPs. I I mean, I think we're gonna see something similar with Toad doing that with Beta Ray Bill, the same type of idea. And so yeah, let's see. I think Kurtis, like I don't think Red Skull's been moved outside of range 3 of Rhino, which was big for Kurtis here, and so now Rhino um, can probably he probably believes that Rhino can tank the hit. So I think you maybe just
He's checking Zemo's range into Black Cat, which I think is a good call.
yeah,
Uh,
I think you basically stall a turn here while you wait. You want to be attacked so you can trigger your leadership. Rhino loves getting the extra power. He just could like have a full amazing activation if Gabe does go into Rhino before he activates.
yep. So here, I'm wondering what players are doing. Looks like Rhino's playing, so Gabe opted to not heal Widow.
Okay, so he is opting to he's burning the card, or I wouldn't say burning.
Yep.
Um he's
Spending the
using the card
card,
right away
robbing Baron Zemo.
and tossing him.
Yep, on the side, which I think is correct. You don't want to give either Zemo or Miles power as much as you can.
I mean, Zemo's already at I guess okay. Oh, sorry. I guess the crisis means that yes, like if you're not gonna one round somebody, let's see. The yeah, if you're not gonna one round someone, they're just gonna like heal it off, and their buddies are gonna heal them too, and all these characters getting so much extra power in the game.
Yep.
Is yeah.
So here,
Leadership is going off. Yeah, this is like the typical what you're gonna see as a Hellfire. If you're playing against Hellfire, you're typically gonna see a late round 1 activation of the leadership, because at that point most characters will be on secures or holding extracts, and then you're gonna see it pop round 2, which will typically you're gonna see that because it enables a lot of superpowers and abilities, getting basically 2 extra power like within the span of a couple of activations. So
yeah, here I hope Gabe will catch the heal on Widow, since the grunts have free interaction.
oh, it looks
Looks
like
like he missed it a second
maybe.
time.
Okay, now he's missed it. Oh, that's a bummer. But I wouldn't. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Widow didn't activate on. Oh, you're saying that Widow didn't activate on the Extremist console?
No, she's
Oh yeah,
still.
that's a bummer. I don't know if that'll bite him in the butt or not, but I think that my guess is that she'll heal one before she gets dazed, and it will have kind of self-corrected. But I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I think here just I could understand that. I think there's an argument to have Widow keep all her power and have the grunts heal her since they do it for free.
Yeah,
But
no, yeah, you're totally right.
yeah, it's those small things that it's a lot also easier to spot when you're not in the game, when
Yeah,
you're speeding and commenting on and everything than when you're in the zone. Like those little details are really easy to miss.
yeah, that's exactly. I should be saying that every stream, and I always like think about it, but I never actually say it. And yes, us like critiquing the players is we're talking from a perspective where we have zero stress, and we have zero stress on the outcome of this game because we're not the ones playing it, and it's way different when you're actually the one sitting at the table. So Zemo is looking like he's doing. Did he do a charge here? I would
Yeah.
assume so. There's the power spent for the charge.
Yep. And I presume going into Black Hat.
Yes, and this is his second action. The first, so he spent 2 move actions to get here. Is what I believe I saw. So Black Cat. He doesn't get any rerolls into Black Cat here. Are you sure he's going into Black Cat?
Uh,
He's. Let's see. I guess we'll find out. He did a crit roll,
yeah,
so it must have been right. Rhino.
yeah. I would presume into Rhino. Here showing 4, so only damage 1 to Rhino. Yeah,
Yeah. So that's I mean, that's does Black Cat just like heal Rhino and then rotate or something? I don't know. Like so, basically now we're seeing both players have all their characters on each like their own separate quadrants. Um, and now Kurtis used his card to take the extract advantage, and so that's why Zemo is pushing into this team here because because he has to break the pair. He has to break the points, or else Kurtis is going to just score 5 for the next X rounds. I think we're going to see a. Are we seeing a spender here? Oh no, we're seeing a extremist
So,
console heal on Rhino.
which I like. Now Black Cat's probably just able to rotate towards Bill and try to get away from the action. With Emma probably being able to split parity next to Zemo.
Yeah, that's it's pretty interesting. You're gonna like basically I'm seeing like the strategy overall here is to basically have 2 models on each point, and you just like protect your 2 secures while you slowly win on VP. So we're having a spender from Black Cat. So we're gonna stagger Zemo here. Is that that's Black Cat's gonna slow him down. And yeah. So let's see how Gabe responds here. He's got Spider Woman that can push in to steal, but I don't think she has the range to be able to do that
No.
yet.
I think here, if you're Gabe, you probably want to go with Miles, just to keep the extract denial part of Spider Woman online.
Yep, good call.
Yep. So here we have Miles using his web swing. I think he's trying to see if he can get within 3 of Rhino, or maybe Black Cat after a move here.
Yeah, so if Black Cat's already gone now, so you could be in a spot where you can push her off the point, and then you're slowing down Kurtis's secures, which I think ties this score 4-4, and of course you have to watch out for Emma into Miles is dangerous because he doesn't get any reroll defensive abilities other than stealth.
That is correct. So here we have a webline kick going into Black Cat, which I really like, especially with the throw. Showing
misses.
the one which is blocked.
Yeah, and it's tough going into Black Cat because it's like whatever you see on your first dice roll, like that's all you get. It's
Yep.
it's so brutal to attack against when you're used to like exploding dice and getting all these like rerolls for dice efficiency and all that.
So
yeah.
here we have Emma, which I presume would go into Miles here, in order to not fuel Zemo. Miles also not being on the point here means he's not going to score an extra VP next round. Generate an extra power, sorry, going into next round.
Yeah, that's right. So it's like you could go in, but you could also go into you could go into Zemo and push him off the point too. But it's I'm seeing now the difference in leaderships where it's like in Hellfire, if you take someone off a point on Hellfire, it's punishing to the leadership much more because of the benefit you get when your characters are on points. Where it's like if you attack into Zemo here, for example, with the idea to get him off the point, it doesn't really. It's not terrible for him to be there. So Miles is going to take the damage here, take the attack.
Still has a Zemo reroll here, which hopefully. Oh, looks like he.
He's missing it. Oh, that's tough.
So here it looks like Emma's gonna get her place again.
Putting him outside of 2 of Rhino, so he cannot spend her immediately, or like looks like he's gonna be on 5 power, which means he's going
just
to
not enough for him to web swing, spender, and pick it up.
Yeah, exactly. So he would have to move and spender and that, yeah, or something like that.
Yep, which makes it a lot more awkward for Miles. So I think things are looking really good for Kurtis here. Oh, interesting to see Spider-Woman go all the way over there. Place 2, hopefully contest, and not quite be able to immediately steal, but hopefully punch a character and try to get in some damage.
Yeah, this if Miles put any damage through on Black Cat, this could have set up an interrogate with Spider Woman here, but So she'd have to roll like a miracle here to get anything like that off. But the interrogate is another amazing way to break parity. A lot of players will forget about it. I mean, I'm only speaking from personal experience, but to me it's like a lot of players will forget it exists and then be like, oh crap, I I did all of the VP counting I've been doing was meaningless because you just interrogated me.
Yeah, and here I think we see a pretty rough scenario for Gabe where he keeps doing these one damage into Kurtis's model, which just get healed and feed them more power. Um, so that's pretty rough there. Um,
Yeah. Beta Ray
yeah,
Bill got hit by the spider advance, and that's why he's not able to rotate to the back point. He's I'm not sure if he's considering throwing terrain into the grunts here or something like that. It looks like
I,
he's considering he's gonna try to get Brace off of the board. Um, right here, I think with the throw into Black Widow. That way he can throw the rest of the terrain. This is a very terrain heavy board. So he can throw the rest of the terrain in rounds 3 onward with Rhino
yeah, I like
and
that.
Bill.
I like that play here. Gabe is super light on terrain throw. I believe he has none in his 5 currently, which pretty much leaves Kurtis open to just throw the board at Gabe.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna see a Rhino potentially throwing a size 3 or size 4 next round. Let's see if he takes damage and gets enough power to be able to have a maximum activation. I think it only costs Rhino 6 power to do everything he wants in a round. Right, 3 from Stampede, 3 from the throw.
Here I'm curious to see what Gabe is going to do. I'd probably expect a steal from Spider Woman and on Rhino, just because since Black Cat already has an extract, you really don't want to take it away from her, so it just leaves her steal pretty much offline and minimize the
Oh,
impact.
Red Skull taking an advance on the spider. That's a bummer. I
Yep. So
uh
yep,
what
we
happened
have
next?
Widow also moving probably next to Bill.
So moving away from range 2 of the extremist because um, the healing, you can only heal characters that are within 2 of it. So this prevents the grunts from healing Black Widow before she activates.
Yeah.
Yeah, so something that Kurtis had mentioned before about spiders is that he stopped playing it in his list because what would happen is he would collect the extracts, like he's showing he's doing here, get the extract advantage, and then his team would roll bad and then be basically pushed towards the team that is trying to kill him, and then as a result, his team would just get double attacked instead of like these single attacks we're seeing now, and
Here I
so
think the Rhino push is really big for Gabe, which outside of 2, inside 2 miles, yeah. Which means Miles will be able to steal the token from Rhino and just run away fairly easily, and
yeah.
probably heal himself from the console. Black Hat being moved away.
Yeah, so look at that. The spiders completely are shifting all of the work that Kurtis did to bunker up, right? And that's like completely dismantled the this little mini bunker that he's setting himself up with, and
Yeah,
that's
I
just
think
a bummer for the Kurtis's positioning. But this leaves the door open for Gabe. I like what you said about the line there, and it's gonna allow Miles to be basically like right beside Red Skull. So it's like, if you want to come into Miles, like you're gonna have to deal with a double tap from Red Skull now. So here we're seeing the spender go off, and he
nope.
it's jeez Louise.
I think you like that outcome if you're Gabe, since you're not giving Rhino extra power, you're not giving him the aggressive.
Yeah,
I This is a better outcome than actually damaging him. Um, so now Miles gets to just pick it up and hopefully walk on the point.
it looks like he's just out.
Looks like he's just out.
Oh,
On,
he's struggling. He's he's trying
yeah,
to.
Still close enough to be healed, but it means Rhino is going to have to move forward in order to attack him or stampede, uh, which still makes it a little more awkward for for him because Miles still has two physical rerolls into Rhino's attacks.
Yeah,
Um,
that makes sense. And here we go. We're seeing the stun affecting Beta Ray Bill now, only having 2 power, which means that he will not be able to throw anything at Black Widow as of right now. He's looking to measure. He's measuring an attack, but she also has martial artist here, so it's like you're rolling 5 naked dice against 3 with martial artists. Like it could go poorly. It could be a terrible activation for Bill if he rolls bad.
for sure,
So
and Black Widow having access to fallback here is pretty big, just because it means she probably can get away far enough from Bill, so that he doesn't get to attack her twice, or maybe go far enough to not be affected by a tearing throw.
yeah. So let's see. Looks like Kurtis has not decided what he's gonna do yet. I mean, you could basically go with Toad and like kind of pass your activation potentially.
I
TG
think
Lord saying Rhino can throw the big truck up Miles with no brace now. I think yeah, that's a good call. It's that Miles is vulnerable to that
I think
throw.
here, you maybe want to go with Emma and try to get rid of Spider Woman, just because with her naked 3 into Emma's, uh, basically having access to both her builder and spender, means she can probably get rid of Spider Woman. I think trying to take away that another steal from Gabe there and hopefully even interrogate will probably make a pretty big difference if he can get it off.
Yeah, I see that too. Emma Spender is very strong. Spider Woman doesn't have a martial artist against mystic attacks, so she's rolling 3 naked dice, so 6 health, and that if Emma gets that wild, you're it's a free damage, so it's really like she has 5 health, and then you still have another 5 dice attack after that. Yeah, so it can really compile. She could really push through a lot of damage here too. Yeah, so I like Toad activating as a pass, but I like what you suggested with Emma activating um, right now as the probably the best option available to Kurtis.
Yep, Spider Woman still has access to the Zemo reroll here because it's
Hmm.
a passive from Strategic Genius.
Yep.
Um, but it looks like Kurtis is actually considering having Emma go into Spider Woman. Because I think here, if he manages to get the days, just removing the option for a steal there is really big. Yep, looks like that's what we're going to see. We're going to have Emma uh, do a spender. Yep, spending 3.
Um, 3
Um,
power.
oh,
We'll catch it. Don't worry. We'll catch it. It was 8 dice.
yeah, at least decent block from Gabe, but still sending 3. Yeah. Um, yeah. Hopefully he won't forget the Zemo reroll here, because that 1 damage is really, really big. Kurtis getting the wild to throw Spider Woman.
Oh yeah, that was
Uh,
a huge roll. Yeah. So hits her for uh, how much is that? That's
so
3
5,
total.
3 plus 1 from the throw, leaving her on 2. Which I think is really. Oh, we see the catch on
Zemo.
Zemo
Okay, good,
roll.
good. I'm glad he caught
Ooh,
it. Oh,
wording
good,
was
good block.
really big
Yeah. Now
because
she's only taken 3 now, and he only has 5 dice left.
yeah, and I think here, if you're Curtis, you might just want to throw her off the point and further away. Oh, looks like she's going into Zemo. So taking that full 3 damage. Zemo's trying to dodge. Fully blocks it. I think that's a
Whoa.
great outcome for Gabe there. Very huge swing. Then take 2 from the attack.
Yep.
Yeah, the sleeves Spider Woman really powered up, so she's gonna be able to glide, probably steal, and oh, yikes!
Yeah. So
Oof, that
not
is
a
a
great roll
very
for
bad
Kurtis,
roll.
and See if
Yeah.
anything goes through. Not a good roll for Toby either, but he's got a reroll, so let's see if he can only. Oh, he's taking 2 on her. Oh man, he could have
Missing out those
rerolled there.
is really big. But now at least she gets to heal from the console. Probably move, blink, move, go next to Toad. Oh, here.
Yeah, I could. If you do that, you're getting like a double. You're getting a double heal.
Yeah, here we have a glide, so she's gonna get to heal 2, putting her at 3, which is a much more comfortable range.
Yep.
So now she gets on the points and is able to spend her Toad and pick up the extract and heal, which are all really, really big, and still have fall back up. Um,
Yep.
or enough power for interrogate. We see the spender going into Toad.
Fuck you,
Uh,
Emma. Carl, referencing Carl's experience with Emma in the
showing 3 there. I don't think there's any triggers because Toad's not poisoned. So Toad takes 2, drops the token. Yeah. So Spider-Woman probably grabs it. Um, and with 3 health, I don't think there's any one of Kurtis's character that can effectively threaten Spider-Woman there. So I like her being on that side of the board, contesting the token from Toad. Toad's still able to push her with his Tongue Lash if he gets the wild. But,
Yeah, I'm thinking Toad just spenders into her and then hits her with a tongue lash or something like that. That's
yeah,
my thought. What do you think of that that
yeah, but I think
activation?
that you want to do just try to daze her and have Toad pick up the token again, because lowering her defense with the auto incinerate from Spit Acid is going to make a big difference.
Okay, but 4 extracts on Gabe here. That's quite the swing. Let's see if Kurtis can come back. It's a crazy. It's like it goes for just like things can turn around. So this game is
So,
just a roller coaster.
yeah.
Yeah,
I really like how the game has been so far, like a lot of back and forth between players, both in terms of like threat projection, of trying to get away from the other. Like it's been a very interesting game so far.
yeah. So it looks like he's. I think he's gonna attack the grunts here, build the power, maybe kill them, and then throw terrain into Black Widow for a significant swing in VPs. Let's see
That's
if
what I would,
that happens.
yeah,
2. So it looks like the grunts will stay alive.
yeah. But
Now you can
it
throw
will,
them into Widow.
but it does give Bill enough power to throw the terrain into Widow, but
Yes.
not enough to pick the token up.
Right,
Uh,
right. And but with Widow survive, it doesn't survive this, which she doesn't.
nope.
It means that it's just one VP that that can't be grabbed,
Yep. Uh,
or that Gabe doesn't
Curtis
have.
probably grab it, and thanks to being uh, staggered, Zemo won't be able to pick it up either.
Yeah, it's now we're left with 2 activations left with Zemo and Red Skull with Gabe, and then Kurtis has got Rhino, Toad, and Black Cat left to go. So let's see if Kurtis can like balance the VPs here. I'm seeing, what are we seeing right now? We're seeing 4 VPs for Gabe this round on the board. If nothing changes, a Red Skull gets on the point.
Yeah,
And um, we're seeing
one.
1, 2, 2 for Kurtis right now, right? Or yeah, no 1, because Gabe is tied. Every point is tied.
That's fair, but I'd expect Curtis to at least pick up the point where near where Emma is. Um, I think here, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, fair.
I like the idea from Gabe of going next to Miles, just to be able to be in sacrifice range, since he's already staggered. He's not having the greatest of turns. I think there's an argument to put Zemo next to Miles for that and have Red Skull be able to punish whoever comes in their lane.
Nobility has mentioned that that Toad might just move over and grab that spider. What do
Yep.
you think? Do you think that seems pretty? I think that seems reasonable. You're giving it back to you, just like kind of traded pieces, I guess.
Yeah,
Uh,
I actually like it very much because even if it leaves Spider Woman scoring that secure, it's gonna give Kurtis the bottom secure and the extract, so he nets 1 VP from that exchange.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
so we have just Zemo left here. So let's see what Kurtis does next. Probably holds the Rhino activation and goes with Toad here. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, we're doing. Oh, is he guys? Kurtis
No,
going for blood?
I really
Spender.
don't like the Red Skull activation there. I think it takes a lot of wind out of Gabe's sails.
Yeah.
Here, looks like it's not quite blocked. Blocking 2, taking 1 from the spender, getting incinerated,
Yep.
uh, which I think also opens up Black Cat to go into Spider Woman for the days.
She has 2 health left. So, oh, you're like you'd still think you think she could push through damage. It's still martial artist. Anyway, we have 4 dice from Toad, 3 with 2 blocks, 1 more damage.
Taking 1, but the very
Yeah.
important wild to push him off the point,
Oh, yeah, right.
which I think is
There's the
really,
putting you. Yeah,
yep,
yeah.
because
Range
here
3 of. Oh
Black
man.
Cat.
Yeah, I mean Rhino could even like just flip, like go over there and like throw terrain at her or something.
Yeah, but I think that might be an interesting play. Um, hmm,
So Zemo's got 3 power, not enough to charge Spender. So he's shaking the stagger and looks like he's paying for a charge.
yeah, I think he's either gonna go into Emma. I think I would go into Emma there. But honestly, it's just such an awkward turn and activation for Zemo there.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think of like what Rhino's going to do on his turn. I guess it's like it is totally up to Kurtis here, but I think it's interesting. Like he's gonna want to throw terrain. I like if I know Kurtis, it's like he's gonna look for the ability to throw some terrain.
Just out for Black Cat. Yeah,
So
I think here
so
if you're
throw into
Kurtis,
Miles. He'll probably throw terrain into Miles, just like
yeah,
TG Lord mentioned.
yeah, I
Anyway,
think that's the right play. Here we have Zemo going into Emma, punching her fairly hard. We have already
whoa.
5 with the reroll.
Oh
Uh,
man, is it gonna be 6? Oh, close.
Emma's blocking 1 regardless, so she's not going down this turn, but
Yeah.
uh, being threatened of not having an activation next round is really big.
Can you activate the leadership while she's dazed?
Yes, you can, I
Okay.
believe. Let me just check
I
on that.
remember reading. Maybe
Um,
maybe Carl or someone else in the chat knows this. There we go. TG Lord says yes, you can.
there we go. Yeah, because I don't think Emma has to activate the
Hmm.
effects. It's just once per round. Yeah.
Interesting.
Um,
All right. So I mean, the card, like, I mean, like intuitively, it's like it looks like you shouldn't be able to because like she
oh yeah,
uses her
Emma
leadership.
properly use the leadership.
But I guess like rules are rules. So there we go.
Yep.
So she can do it.
There you go, Carl. Fellow accuser also says yes, you can.
Yeah.
I think is a correct read. Um,
All right. So we've got just Kurtis's activations left here. So
yeah.
Rhino, let's see where he ends up going. He isn't holding a spider, so maybe he's the one who picks up that spider. Um, throwing terrain into Miles seems so juicy, like because it's like you don't have brace anymore. I mean, he does get the reroll still, but you're throwing a size 3,
3.
and he's got 3 health.
Still
I mean, maybe you don't get him. Maybe that's why he's holding off.
competing, which I don't dislike. Yep, breaking the forklift.
So he's gonna break parity on that secure is what it looks like, and he's going to grab that spider.
Yeah, or maybe just double walk on the secure, grab the spider. Which is I think the safest play here. It scores him 2 VPs. puts Gabe in a much more awkward position because now Kurtis would be scoring 1, 2,
Oh,
3,
so
and attack.
because Kurtis can place Rhino before damage, you can attack the character that is going to be KO'd off the board, and then like not worry about being stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's the right call. Like it gives him
yeah. So
2, 3 power, puts him back onto the point, scores him 2 extra VPs. Uh, so here we have Kurtis.
he's going to be scoring 3 secures and 2 spiders. So it'll be a 5-4 game for Kurtis.
Yep, taking the lead. But it's still at this point pretty much anyone's game. Like it's a very, very tight.
Leadership
Uh,
trigger going off now.
yep.
Every one of his characters are are holding or contesting an objective. So that means that Emma doesn't get to heal anything from the leadership trigger or gain any power or anything like that. But maybe we're gonna see Black Cat give Emma 1 health, like interacting on the extremist consoles is like seems pretty fair.
Yep. Here, unfortunately, I really don't like Gabe's position. His Red Skull has not done anything relevant this game. He's pretty much a 5-threat paperweight so far.
Yeah.
Not a can.
He's just not fast enough. Like Bill has the double move throw kind of situation, and so we're seeing Black Cat stagger Zemo again.
Yep.
And it looks like I think the idea here is that Kurtis, one thing he's probably thought about is leaving Spider Woman on 1 health, so that she doesn't she's not gonna be able to heal up very much, and
Yep.
as a result, we'll get dazed earlier in round 4.
Yeah, here Kurtis even gets the elusive, which I think hopefully will let him be back on the point. But I am not sure it will.
Interesting. He's opting. Oh, he's getting out of 3 to avoid counter strike, and then he wants to zip back in onto the points to avoid any sort of
I like
damage.
I like it. I think
Yeah, he's thinking
I
of all the rules. I mean, this is what you want to see when you're playing game, and you can think of things like this and remember your opponent's defensive tech and counters, and then play around them. It feels pretty good.
Yep. And I think honestly that's something you'd expect from players at this level. Not to brag about the Canadian meta, but we have a good pool of very strong player here, and it's with these little kinds of play that you see their mastery over the game.
Yeah. So we're going into the next round with a 5-4. So Kurtis will be at 14 and Gabe at 13. And yeah, I'm just gonna add on to the point here. I was talking to the guys at the event on Saturday, and basically like there were two there was I've been to 2 events in the last like 30 days, and 2 of the players that were at the events were both 4-0 in the league. Actually, sorry, 3 or we're like they're now 4-0 in the league. Kurtis was there, Isaac was there, Kyle
Yep.
was there, and we've got Dutch who's 3-1. I'm 3-1, and Greg is 3-1. I think we're all. I haven't checked this week if anyone's played their games yet, but basically like those are the players I have to play against when I go locally when I have to play games. Like it's pretty intense. They're really they kick my ass.
Yeah, I feel you. Locally, 3 of us are 3-1,
That's
and Gabe
awesome.
here at 4-0. So definitely
Same thing.
strong,
Same thing.
strong
Yeah.
local scene. But yeah, here we have the spider rolls. We see Spider Woman getting pushed. Uh, Probably into range 3 of Emma. Yep.
Okay. Why so just to set up the spender, I
Uh,
like
Either
but like
that,
yeah,
or
I guess go ahead,
I would
sorry.
assume just to force Gabe to go with Spider Woman and have to put her on the point to threaten the Emma the Emma days.
The
assuming-
positioning there on Spider-Woman is good too, because she also now cannot spend 2 power to get onto an extremist console and then like double attack. She'll have to spend at least 1 action moving if she wants to be on a secure. But also, yeah. So that's another point that you are forcing an early Spider-Woman activation, and retreating is tough to do because Kurtis has threats on every secure. Toad is like the only one, but it's like Toad could even punch that last damage through.
Yeah. And here I think this is going to work out in Kurtis's favor. I think going into this round, Kurtis is pretty advantaged. All his characters are relatively healthy. He's controlling where his character sits on the board, and he has the VP lead. So it really forces Gabe here to have very high impact activation as much as he can.
Yeah, that's right. So let's see.
Yep,
Spider-Woman is activating, yeah. So
yeah,
getting that
and
Zemo reroll is why, like, we're jumping into a Zemo reroll here.
yep.
Looking to, if you can take out Emma, then there's less of a chance that she goes down this, like, Spider-Woman goes down this round. You can see Gabe's a little frustrated or something. He's trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I think trying to be outside of range 3 of Black Cat just to dodge as many attacks as she can. So place, and here you can hopefully double tap Emma to get the days. But I think if Kurtis actually transforms here, he might be able to get out of range of the interrogate. Doesn't look like he
But yeah, no,
does.
he doesn't.
4 successes.
There's a days on Emma. Yes, so interrogate is online. Very interesting. So if Gabe gets 5 points of the regular crises scoring to Kurtis's 4, he will win the game with interrogate.
I think, I do not like going so close to Black Cat. I think you want to try to avoid her builder as much as you can. Yep. Go here, spend 1, heal 1, and probably activate Zemo fairly early on afterwards to do the same.
Yeah, that's a very interesting. I wonder if Kurtis sees the interrogate, because I never do. Oh Christ. Oh man. Okay. Oh geez.
Oh, yep.
Okay.
Like Nobility said, I think the
Stun before damage was missed.
Oh no, Emma was already on 10 at this point. Kurtis didn't give her power from the attack, so I think.
Oh, maybe he put us, or no, I don't know. It didn't matter. Like, what condition mattered? I guess that's why Nobility's pointing out stun could have mattered. Yeah, I see now.
Yeah, but she was on 10 power already.
So it didn't really. Yeah, fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Kurtis is trying to see if Bill can double walk and be on the point. I still think that's not what I would like to do. At least now, I think maybe he's just checking if he can have, after he's activated his leadership, have Bill double move and throw either Spider-Woman or Zemo off the point.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Throwing Spider-Woman off the point obviously takes that extra VP off the board. So.
Yep.
But you can't. You only have. Okay, so you haven't done the leadership yet, so that'll get you your 3rd power to be able to do that.
Yep.
So looks like Kurtis is running away. So I think this is usually when you feel like you've got the win. Is that you opt to just rotate your characters away and not engage at all. So
I think it's also Kurtis's best option as a functional pass, since Toad not holding an extract can just actually pivot with the hop and his double move pretty much everywhere where he wants to be. And I think if you're Kurtis, you also want Spider-Woman to be as far away from Miles as you can, because having a late activation to have her drop the extract might be super, super brutal.
yeah.
I think here, if you're Gabe, I would try to eyeball, see if Bill gets to the back point. You might be able to body block him and still be in front enough of Emma to not give Bill a good throw angle into Spider-Woman.
Yeah. let's see.
Yeah, I
Let's
think
see.
if you're Black Widow here, you're probably wanting to do mixed techniques into Rhino just to get that stagger on, try to take away scenario pressure, because if Gabe can, with the extract lead, just tie, secures, and break parity with interrogate,
Yep.
might be able to steal this game.
Here it is. Let's see if he gets a stagger on Rhino.
Looks very good so far.
Oh, in an elusive too, but I don't know if that matters too much. But yes, there is an elusive, I think, on that.
Dealing 3 damage
Oh
to
man,
with the
that's
stagger.
crazy. That's crazy. I'm sure there's a lot of players that have played, have done that attack and done no damage and feel bad about it. Yeah, there is an elusive on this one.
Which I
Stagger on the
really
Rhino.
like here, because now I would also try to use mixed technique on Bill, because if you can get that stagger on, it's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
it would do Gabe a huge favor in this game.
Yeah, YOLO. Gabe's gonna YOLO this one.
And I like it just because if it forces Bill to spend a power to not take damage, he functionally lose access to his throw, which is really big there. So far, so
0-2. He needs Curtis.
good.
Oh, Curtis just shuts
All
it
right.
right down.
Bill says no.
Yeah. Hmm. Curtis has experience deal on the other side with Widow. He I think I always forget exactly what happened, but I know like his Widow like dazed or KO'd like a Scarlet Witch and a Magneto in like one activation against uh, Ben in the past. I don't remember the details. I think that's what those are the details, but so interesting that she got Rhino staggered, but Bill can still double move and displace somebody.
Sure. Yeah. So it's nice to see it's still really anybody's game at this point. It's very, very tight. Very, very tight plays and sequencing from both players.
Yes.
Now,
Oh man.
what do you do?
Okay. All right. There's something here that like I don't know. Maybe there's a thing here, and that's you move Red Skull to in range 3 of Bill, and then you root him, and then you move back. It would stop the throw off of Spider Woman.
I honestly really, really like that. You could also put a Hex on Rhino, to limit the output he could put on potentially either Spider Woman
Yeah.
or.
I mean,
I
we're
think
gonna see a Rhino throw. Rhino's gonna throw this truck into Spider Woman or something. All right, let's see.
I
Um,
think
but maybe
looks like either Rhino or Bill going into Spider Woman and
she has martial arts though. She might be tough to take down.
so
No
blocks it.
damage. There it is. Yeah, 5. So we don't know who attacked though, but they're doing it again. I would imagine Rhino because he doesn't have any displacement. But there. Okay, so some damage goes through.
If it's a second attack, it's definitely Bill there.
Oh, it was Bill. Okay,
Mm,
okay, fair.
all
Yes, you're
right.
right.
Yep, because Rhino's staggered. I think
Interesting. So now you throw the terrain at her. Oh, did you generate the power to do that? You did. So that's what he's spending it on. Yep, he's throwing the size 3. Yep, into her to KO her.
I think then if Kurtis doing that, he might not have. Ooh, is she gonna live?
Wow, she could block 2 more here and or 1 more here and live.
Oh, she does.
Oh, lives on 1. Oh my goodness. That's
Um,
pretty interesting. She is injured though, so Bill's gonna stay there as of right now. Uh, and it means that she's not winning the point, but she's still alive, so she could cause more trouble in the future.
that does tell me though that I think Kurtis is either not seeing the interrogate or think he doesn't reach Spider Woman. Wasn't reaching Spider Woman with Bill.
Yeah, that's right. I think so I mean we're gonna see Rhino like stampede move throw terrain maybe. Can he hit Spider Woman there? Like I'm like I don't know. Is that what are there outs here? Like who's winning? Trying to
So far, I
this
think
this
he's got 3 extracts and 2 secures with the interrogate on, but it's like his win is hanging by a thread.
Yeah, this I just like splurted out a bunch of words there. I felt like, and just for anyone watching, that's what my mind does when I try to play this game.
So
My
this
mind is
this
literally all over the place. I'm just constantly panicking about everything.
this explains the spreadsheets.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's see. So that was Bill's activation. We've got Gabe is still looking to. Um,
He
looks
has
like what is he gonna do?
Zemo, Red Skull, and Miles left. I think here, if you're Gabe, you probably want to go with Zemo. Just shake the stagger, heal Spider Woman, and make sure you keep that secure there.
Yeah.
Uh, I think you probably want to go with Miles the latest, just because he can, since he's your most mobile character, he can double move and web swing to hopefully contest and deny a secure uh, from Kurtis.
Yeah, I do like that too because if Miles, I like Miles. My first thought is Miles rotating down because Red Skull's going to be able to leave his grunts behind at a point, right? So
Yeah,
it's he can Red Skull could get a move and attack into somebody and not have to worry about um like losing the secure VP
yeah,
if he
that's why
activates later in the order later in order.
I think that's why I like the Zemo activation here, just to use it as a functional pass and force Kurtis to play the rest of his activations first, because Zemo's not gonna do much. Like, he heals Spider Woman, shakes the stagger, probably reposition himself a little, and
Yeah.
day.
Okay, so he's activating Red Skull. I do like the Zemo activation. Like getting that extra health on Spider Woman seems like a big deal. Um,
Yeah,
and you're keeping. I mean, you've got sacrifice online if you do it if for an attack any attacks do go into her, and you've got now 3 health to prevent a collision from killing you most likely. So yeah, Red Skull is activating though. He's pumping the grunts out. It looks like if I had to guess, it looks like he's gonna try to put Rhino down in one shot. It's a big game hunt right here. I think is what we're seeing. He might even use the card to put Rhino at less dice.
I don't love it here, just because if he doesn't get the KO off Rhino, uh,
Yeah,
he
it's a problem.
really get punished, and that might be an issue, because now it would open up Rhino to what?
Oh, so we're gonna interact and heal Miles. There we go. Yep, love to see it. And now Red Skull's gonna heal Miles. Love to see it.
Yep, I think that's
This Red Skull is awesome on Extremist. Grunts had to be within one of Red Skull. Oh no, he moved. He did a move action.
okay. All goods.
So yeah. So Miles back full health. Look at that. Extremist consoles just like bringing characters back from the brink. On
Uh,
all right. So
think
we've got to
here
move.
we probably see a cosmic obliteration here. I would hope so. Um, and have Red Skull be able to go for the contest. I don't dislike it here, just because
Oh,
it also
you don't risk it. You don't risk it for the hit wild. But
no.
I would because I'm fucking because
I
I just
I
roll
would
dice.
I like it here, just because since Rhino only has the one attack, he can always sacrifice it to the Black Widow, which means Miles will be able to steal that secure, um, which is really really big, since the Grunts are contesting
Oh
this one.
man, he's going to root. Is he gonna root Bill or root Rhino? I mean, you probably Rhino already can do whatever he wants, right? Like he's
Yeah,
probably running the math. If he drops it on Rhino, he ran the math and he knows what to. There it is. All right, so Rhino can't do both a stamp. Oh, he paid 2 power. Duh, for both. So Rhino can't stampede and throw terrain with the power he currently has.
yeah,
So that's pretty big.
yeah. I really like it here. Keeping just the one power for sacrificing to Widow is really really big. It means Gabe is functionally always going to be able to tie that point with
Hmm.
Miles with his last activation. So here it puts Kurtis in an awkward position, which I think if Gabe sees his
Yes.
out, he's gonna win this game.
Yeah, that's it's crazy how this is super intense, man. Red Skull, he really knows. I feel like he's just playing Red Skull really, really like that was a very smart thing to do. I would have loved to see a more base to base, with Rhino here, because then you're completely stopping the push in that direction. You're shutting it down. Like now, there's a little bit of wiggle room where Rhino could push. That could have been prevented with a slight positioning thing. But I like what he did here.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's very cool.
yeah. So do I. The thing here, if Toad goes so far as to try and get attacks into Spider Woman, it also opens up Gabe to have Zemo charge and Steel Rush Toad to be able to tie that point with Black Hat. It gives him another window to maybe either deny Kurtis VPs or try to outscore him straight up.
So yeah, who has last activation here? So it looks like
Gabe has last activation
Gabe
here
has
with
last. Yeah, that's where you want to be at the end of the game when you're that's usually where you want to be, right? You want to be activating last to clean up the and rotate.
and just deny those very important VPs.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah,
See, this
this
is
is
looking really good for Gabe. Man,
yeah,
yeah, because Zemo can like if he doesn't do anything about Zemo here.
yeah. And I think here, if you're Gabe, being able to have sacrifice up on either Red Skull or Spider Woman,
Yeah.
Rhino's single.
Oh man, this is quite. I can understand
Yep.
why Curtis is taking a while to think about this. I
Yeah,
think
this is
this is locked
probably
in. I
yeah.
feel really good here. If I'm
Yeah, I think if you're
to,
Gabe here, you feel really good about what's going on. Uh, but in those cases, you still have to be very wary of your opponent seeing a line you might not have
yeah,
considered.
yeah.
Uh, that could punish you really hard.
Man, that route is the perfect amount. Is the perfect time. 7 health, 7 power on Rhino there.
Yep, it's just
And it
like
just
the
means he
magic
can't. He
amount.
has to. He move. You're moving and you're throwing, I guess, and that's it. But like, um,
I
man,
think here, honestly, as desperate as it sounds, I think you might want to go with Rhino slide, attack Miles, fish for a damage to maybe either throw the size 4 or
it's size 3, so it's riskier.
into Miles and place on the point.
Yeah,
Uh,
Toad. We're seeing Toad looking to rotate over there.
yep.
That would win. That would let Rhino rotate out, but but then I don't know. Like, yeah, I guess you do keep Zemo there for sacrifice and
Yeah, it's really a super tough call. He's looking for cover, which Miles doesn't get. It's really hard to say what Kurtis has to do there. Because Rhino leaving that point functionally gives uh, Gabe the secure on the low point unless Toad moves to there, but it forces him to go there, which Miles can then either force parity on or force parity on Black Hat. Oh yeah, good catch from Nobility. If Rhino goes after Miles and doesn't get him, he can probably just get spendered and
yes,
go
yes.
down to the point, which is really not what you want to do with your Kurtis. Try to not put all your eggs in one basket. Yeah, I think what we're seeing here is one of those like very special MCP moments where you feel like your options are so few and far between, and you just have to try to play to your outs.
Yeah.
Slim as the odds are.
Yeah, these ones are tricky. They're
Uh, really crazy.
intense. I mean, yeah, I can understand the position that both players are in. Kurtis especially though, because it's just like have to look at every single option and yeah. All right, so we've got double move with Toad, and he's gonna spend 2 power
The hop,
to he's gonna take the hop onto the point and probably heal Rhino for another point.
yeah, that's what I would assume. Um, but here with Gabe, what do you want to do with your Gabe? You're scoring so far 4, 5, 6 with the interrogate, which puts him at 19. Um, Even if Miles goes north, yeah, we see Zemo. I think this is the correct
Healed
play.
Spider Woman and blocking her from. Oh yeah, so this is the thing is you don't want to be attacked by Rhino.
Yeah,
So then it sets up it sets up the terrain throw. So I don't know, maybe hopefully Gabe measured this because I would hate to see Zemo be in range after a stampede, be in
yeah.
range to be attacked by Rhino. So um, Rhino just spent 2 power. What am I seeing? What's the deal there?
Oh,
Oh, what the? Oh, mission objective. He played mission objective.
oh, to put it on Bill, I don't
Now
dislike
he's
it.
going into Miles with the
Yeah,
attack, maybe. Oh no,
yeah.
no, he's going into. Oh,
Ooh,
that looks
yeah,
in. That looks in.
that looks in. I think that's pretty big. Um, but thankfully Zemo has. Oh no, Master Swordman has to be within 2, right? When you get attacked. Um, yeah. If the enemy is within 2, yep. So yeah, I think he
Dude,
just gave.
he should have. I
Yeah, I
just
think.
said this. You should have not
Yep.
moved Zemo there. Oh my gosh, that's
He.
rough. I had a feeling like you needed to be further back, but
Yeah, and I.
what can Zemo do anything about this? I mean, he has got fallback, and he's got he gets sacked, but and no,
No, I don't think you want to sack it.
no,
This
you
is.
want to do you fall back way? I don't know. Mm. This
It's.
is so interesting that Curtis isn't
Yeah,
committed
he was
yet.
power to the for the
There's
slide.
the 4 power. Oh
Yep,
man, that was a little rushed, but we'll live with it.
allow it.
All right.
Oh, outside for the grunts. So yeah, we have 7 going into Miles, who has 3 with 2 rerolls.
And
Uh,
we have oh yeah, so we have.
ooh,
Oh my goodness,
will
6. That could just get him. Oh my
Miles jump in with
goodness.
1 there? Uh, he does.
Oh my god.
But
Well,
that's
he still has to survive a throw, but yes,
yes.
Miles is living on 1. Oh, gracious.
Yikes! This is super crazy because now, let's see
He has
if
to
Rhino.
place within
Yeah,
1. He's I
oh,
think he's debating if he throws a size 2 into Miles. I mean, or do you throw the size 3 and be off the point? I think that's the points calculation he's probably running right now.
yeah.
I think you go on the point and throw the size 2.
I think Miles is debating fallback
Mm.
here, depending on when Rhino goes. I
So
think
Rhino
you can.
places before fallback, right? So he places then fallback because they're both before the attack, before the damage.
And I think if you're Gabe and you're clever here, you could use the grunts to buddy block the throw, um, which might be like super, super impactful.
Mm. I don't know if you like. I think there's a way to counterplay that if you're Curtis and you realize that's the case. I
But
think.
since Curtis has to place next to Miles on either side and telegraph which terrain he's going to throw, I think Gabe still has
Do we need
probably.
to be ready to jump in if fallback is moved before the place? I'm worried that's about to happen. Oh no, Curtis is measuring.
Curtis
Curtis
is
is
the one.
doing the measuring.
Curtis is missing. Yeah,
So
I think that's what he's checking. trying to see if he can.
Yeah, he's seeing the placement and where Miles would go. Yeah, fair. Man, this is intense. Oh my god. Oh man, does Miles have cover? I didn't check that.
No,
I
he
don't.
didn't have
He
cover.
didn't.
That's
Okay. Oh man, Rhino 6 hits. Jeez, pulling. Oh my God, Kurtis getting freaking pretty. Getting a really good roll to put things looking like they're swinging in his favor a little bit. I don't know if it's enough. I haven't run the numbers, but that was
we
big.
can do it while they're debating here. So here, if Rhino, let's assume Rhino gets the days and is able to pick up the extract, it means this secure is going to be tied since the grunts are on it.
Yes.
Rhino's going to score one. Black Hat's going to score two more, putting it three.
It's a.
Four with
Oh,
Bill,
man.
five with that secure.
Yeah.
Gabe is going to score one plus two plus three, plus one from the interrogate. So here, depending on what Gabe does, here we see the place, them debating the fallback. I think if you're Miles, yeah, I think he's checking if he can get out of range. I don't think hiding behind those barrels is the good call. But base to base here, he should be able to throw medium and still get Miles.
Yeah. So I think that's why we're seeing okay, the
No
fallback's
fallback.
no gone now. It's like why would you fall back if you can't get out of range? Is the answer.
Yeah. Full
So
defense two. So Miles has to block everything. If he
yeah,
does, Gabe pretty much just wins.
I've done this before.
Oh,
Oh, the skull is locks it,
days
and yeah,
now.
that's it. Yeah, days. Wow,
And I think that gives Kurtis the game.
that's kind of freaking. Oh,
He's
Kurtis just freaking lucks out right at the end there. Oh my God, what a freaking game. Gabe had it. I think I felt so good about Gabe's position, and then Rhino just rolls, and Miles
sick.
whiffs, and then the
Good.
whole thing flips over.
Because now, yeah.
We're gonna jump into their game now that they're tallying up the scores.
Yep.
It felt like I was in a good position with Miles, but I mean that it's a dice game.
Yes, it is a dice game. Holy moly.
And you played incredibly well. I felt on the back foot from turn one, honestly. It was really intense.
Hey guys, thank you for letting us stream that game. That was incredible to watch. A lot of smart decisions. My smooth brain could barely comprehend what was happening, but yeah, Kurtis, nice spike at the end to ruin Gabe's his legend killer run he's having.
Yeah.
That was rough.
Just got to be lucky sometimes. That's all it is.
Gabe, were you did you have the interrogate on your mind this round?
I did not actually.
Oh, dude, 'cause you had a winning position with interrogate on Emma.
Yeah.
Well, I think I was in a winning position either way with Miles if I was having an activation with him, but I was, I think, in a correct position. If I was to equalize that extremist council with Miles, I think I was fine. He was
Yeah.
scoring one less VP.
Yeah, that's
So
what we were saying.
I didn't think about the interrogate because I was fine with the position, but that Rhino attack with the 3 damage was really rough.
Gabe? How did you feel about Red Skull like in this game? Because he didn't really he had a huge impact right there at the end where it put Kurtis in a 1-out situation or basically, and kind of he had a Hail Mary it. But other than that, he didn't. Did he attack? He didn't attack once this game. How did you
No,
feel about
he
your
didn't.
leader?
It's fine. He gave my all my team all the power. Like, I mean, it's it's true. It's not the best position. I mean, it's hard because he has so much tempo, and like I'm usually fine with the Red Skull attacking once per turn, but this game he just couldn't because he has so much steal. He's not ever chasing me. Like when Red Skull has an extract and you need to chase Red Skull, that's the position I like to be in. But in this game, he could afford to just not do it. I need to tell myself like I think Hellfire Club is just the step above, piloted by a crazy good player.
Yeah,
I think
you almost had him though. So you just I think there's a couple of little decisions that you made that could have gone a little differently, and,
Yeah,
you made him bleed. I think a little bit. So
I can't ask for more.
yeah, still played incredibly well. I think this was a very tight game and nail biter until the very end. So well done from both of you.
yeah, Curtis, how did you feel about the position, the early game, and what were your thoughts going down 5-4 on round one?
That was fine. I figured I would get it back, and I think the misplay I had, I left Spider Woman alive thinking I thought I had 3 spiders to his 2, but I was down a spider, and so I only won that third round 5-4 instead of 6-3, and then when Emma went down, that put me in a much worse position than I kind of thought I was going to be in. So, yeah, I didn't feel great about it, but sometimes you don't feel great, and then dice bail you out at the end. That's good.
Yeah. Well, I think that you still have to play your outs until the very end, and that's a good example uh, of being lucky when it matters a lot.
Yeah, I think
To
I
be fair,
also could have gone with Rhino first instead of Toad. There was a few times where it's like if I needed to kill Miles, there was no point letting him get all that damage healed off him and stuff. So my activation order at the end might have been a bit funky as well. So something to remember for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but very tight.
Gabe, that activation with Red Skull where you just walked over and rooted Rhino, or I mean especially Rhino because obviously it shut down his
yeah.
stampede and his throw, but like and you did, man, huge props to you for doing that because I would have attacked. It's so tempting to attack, and the amount of the fact that you found that the best
But
option was to not attack was really cool. Was good. So props to you for making that
I
decision.
appreciate that. The only thing was that the only outcome that was positive for me if I attack into Bill and do no damage and have the trigger to push him and the blitz. It was super unlikely. Like the more I have my trigger, the more likely he is to take damage. So like it didn't make sense. He
Yeah.
was coming back on the point either way.
Very fair. I mean, you could have one shot him like Rhino pretty much did to Miles.
Ah,
But yeah, I get it. I know it was great. You guys played a really great and exciting game. Curtis, Toad didn't grab Toad didn't grab the opposing spider. You opted to go with Bill to do that. I saw that your eyes on the prize allowed you to get onto the D secure with Bill. Was that kind of like a planned out round one, round two? You pass it back to Toad, or why did you grab it with Bill? I guess is the question.
I thought Bill would be a bit safer. There was kind of some scary stuff going on, and yeah, usually when I grab something with Bill and Toad doesn't have an option to grab, I will do what I did there, where I basically have Toad go to either a Black Cat or a Rhino or Bill, whoever has an extract, and take it, and then let them be freed up to go influence the rest of the board. So that's usually the Toad plan, to just kind of end up with an extract on a spot as much as possible. That's away from the action and letting the other people get in there.
Yeah. Okay, Simon, do you have any questions or any other comments?
No, honestly, like very well played to both players. Really like your ending there, Curtis. I think identifying that Rhino passing an extract with mission objective and trying to steal one away from Gabe. Very nice example of playing to your outs. And good luck for both of you. Good luck to Curtis for making it into the cuts and Gabe for his last round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm gonna get you in the cut. Get you both, guys.
Yeah,
Um,
you deserve to get to the cuts no matter what. You've had a
Yeah,
brutal
that's been a
schedule and played awesome.
super
So
brutal run.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, so I'm gonna head out, guys. Thank you very much for stream, and congrats to Curtis for making cut. And yeah, Gabe, good luck in your next match. Thank God that I already lost to you, so I don't have to play you next round. And so I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks again. Have a good night.
Have a
Thanks
good
a lot.
one.
good everyone.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
All right, and yes, thanks to Vodkablitz for joining me on commentary. I'll catch you guys next time.